Hello, everyone. How are you? Surprise, surprise, surprise. This is a special edition, episode number 69 of the TERRAN Lamp Show. Usually we are here Tuesdays at 7:30 p.m., but today is a special edition show. And so, of course, it's Thursday at 7 p.m. So this is a special edition of the TERRAN Lamp Show. This is a Thursday edition at 7 p.m. today. So thank you so much for joining me. Again, this is episode number 69. It's a special edition of the TERRAN Lamp Show. So I'm so glad you're joining us. Hello, 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 hello. I'm so glad you are joining us today. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. Like I said, we are normally here on Tuesdays at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure you check back with us next week. This is episode number 69, special edition, Thursday edition of the TERRAN Lamp Show. We are bringing on a guest that, goodness, I have got the opportunity to just see her work and love her as a person and as a businesswoman. And I wanted to bring her on to share her journey and to share what she's been up to. I don't want to give it all away, but I just really appreciate all she's doing. She has definitely got it together, and she's definitely a great example for entrepreneurs and small businesses. And I just wanted her to share her story on the TERRAN Lamp Show. And I am going to get her in now, Miss Amber. Amber. Hello, hello. How are you? Hi, Kenny J. What's up? Thanks for joining.
Hey, how are you?
Do you see what I have for you today?
I know, it looks so nice. It is all set up, the lighting. I'm so impressed.
And look what else I have.
Oh, yes.
Lip gloss?
Yes, like you look amazing.
I'm like, I have to have some light for Amber. I just have to now.
Yeah, now that you get it, right? It's the process. Now you have the light. It's gonna be a whole new TERRAN Lamp Show by next year.
Yeah. We'll have to tell, for those who don't know, so Amber's been really encouraging me to get my office space and my lighting. Yes. We plan on, this is our winter project, is to make this into more of my workable space, because I wasn't, there's a whole new.
But it's okay, because we're really excited. This is like, I love passion projects like this. Like, this is fun. It's something different than like the day-to-day that I have to do for the company. So it's nice, you know.
And I love the curls.
Thanks. I'm trying something different, just wearing curls.
I love it.
Thanks. Everybody likes the curls. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do something different for the fall, winter. I'll wear my curls out. So
I love it. Hi, Carolina. How are you? Well, thank you guys for joining us. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Amber, for joining us on this special edition.
Yes.
Hello.
I'm excited.
I truly appreciate it. This is, episode number 69. And as I was saying in the beginning, we wanted to bring you on and back on because, I've had the opportunity to work with you. And I've told you this in personal time, but, I really just admire what you have going on. I didn't want to give it away. I want you to share your own journey. But
I admire you too, TERRAN. So it's a mutual love. Mutual love.
I mean, Amber's been teaching me how to tag people. Who knew that I had to figure who knew? And that I could schedule things like Gmail. Like, who knew? Before Amber? Yeah. I just really enjoy what you're doing for entrepreneurs, for women, for small businesses. And, I've really said to several people, you just, like I said, I don't want to give it all away, but you just really, to me, have it together. And I really am just in awe by what you're doing as a female entrepreneur and what you're doing as a business owner for women, for entrepreneurs, and for small businesses. I think you're taking so many different levels with what you have going on. And we giggle and laugh about Google and tagging, all that stuff. But the bottom line is you really are doing something great.
I appreciate that.
Yes, you really are. And, I'm enjoying seeing it. I'm enjoying being a part of it. And I'm just, like I said, in all of you just keeping it all together and looking fabulous doing it, if I
Well,
might
thank
add.
you. That's my trade secret, keeping it fabulous. A girlfriend of mine is like, I don't know how you still have your hair and makeup done, like, and have a startup. Like, that is a gift in itself. And I'm like, I don't know. That's like my therapy.
Right. Yeah.
That's my self-care stuff, because I love doing all that stuff. But people always laugh. They're like, I don't know how you have your makeup and hair together all the time. I'm like, I don't. It's just, I know how to put it on when I need to.
I knew today I was like, I gotta put some lip gloss on. I gotta have some lighting. I gotta remember today. So,
Yeah.
so tell us a little bit about your journey. Tell us what you're up to, and tell us, how you got started and what you have going on. Tell us.
Yeah. So, my background is in channel, indirect marketing and sales programming. I spent 15 years in corporate. I've worked for some of the largest brands in the world, specifically in the telecom, technology, and manufacturing space. So went from B2B sales, early tech space, where it was just T1 services. That's where I started, where it was just, we didn't have internet, Wi-Fi yet. That wasn't even a thing. So started there, and then worked my way through national accounts, moved into telecommunications, and then technology, because I was at that, what do they call us, the millennial Gen Xer? Like, I'm right on that 80s baby cut, like early 80s, whatever. So bottom line is, telecom turned into technology too, while I was in growing as a young professional. So I was able to get in on a lot of the early products like Apple, HTC, Android, Jelly Bean, all that cool stuff early on, and AI as things were coming to fruition. And that was 10 years ago now. So after my career with AT&T, I was a national accounts product manager. I left and started my own marketing agency. And what I found in that space is, when you are dealing in small business, you learn very quickly that there is a huge gap between corporate and small business. And I think I wouldn't have completely understood it if I wasn't in one of the largest organizations with the budgets I had to do what I wanted to do, and then going down to small business where they did not understand it at all. And then running a business, I had to learn a lot of things too, because I had big organizations that I was networked with, that I was doing projects on, and then a network of small businesses. And so through that, there were a lot of challenges for myself, for some of the small businesses that I worked for, communicating to large organizations, having a consulting firm. And what I found is that there's a huge gap in the market. And the gap is not the obvious, right? It's not people starting businesses. It's not people making money. The issue is sustainability and education. And how do you educate yourself at every stage of your organization? So from making $1 all the way to 100 million to 1 billion, at each level, there's a different component of education that needs to be in your business to be able to accommodate the amount of revenue that you're trying to grow to. And then more importantly, how to sustain it. And what you see now in the market is a lot of noise. You have a lot of people that are currently, selling niche things like, I can help you with the email marketing campaign. I can help you with social media. I can help you with finance. I can help you with digital accounting. But what we don't see is a comprehensive marketplace and service platform that accommodates all of the main areas of business that help to create ongoing sustainable education and growth for small to mid-sized companies at whatever stage they're at. So to that point, I developed a company called SMARK, which is sales and marketing integration. And so it's marketing, and our main goal at SMARK is to market and sell the marketplace for small to mid-sized companies through the 10 areas of business. So we have all different products and services, software tools, to help small to mid-sized companies grow and scale. So that's what I'm up to right now. We're a tech startup. We're in our seed round of funding. So we're looking for investors to help us accelerate and scale to the next level for the company. So that's where we are right now. And that's SMARK for now.
You know, that's really great that you saw that need, right? To get them over, to get them through and over that gap, right?
Yes.
I mean, and I think that it's interesting, you know, when you're able to dissect that and say, someone else says, again, can you explain
I love that. What a smart name. We have jokes like that, Carolyn.
That's so cute.
Everybody, we have jokes like that with the team all the time, Carolyn. That's amazing.
I thought she was asking to explain it again, but she says, what a smart name. That's great. Carolina, that's great. Yeah, I think it's interesting when you can see that gap and or see the need, and then, you know, for small businesses and be able to get them over that gap, but you realize what it is about, you know, teaching them, giving the tools that they need, right? And what you thought it was, like you said, it wasn't, what was the word you used? It wasn't the obvious.
It wasn't the obvious, yeah. It wasn't the obvious, because there's a lot of obvious assumptive products right now. So where is the non-assumptive, which is what we forget, which is fundamentals, you know? We forget that all the time. Even if you see kids playing sports, like everyone wants to dunk, they want to spike, but very rarely do you find the focus to stick to learning how to spike the right way, learning how to dunk the right way. It prevents injuries, it prevents failure, and you're more sustainable, you know? So
when you put it in that premises, and not to be a one dunk wonder, right?
Correct. Yes. And that's it's a perfect example of Allen Iverson versus like a LeBron, you know, and the sustainability of both of those. Allen Iverson is an amazing talent, but his fundamentals and sustainability as an athlete struggled, versus LeBron took a lot of the fundamental truths and trainings and honed in on that even as a stellar athlete, and still does that to this day. So you see the difference in how his performance and how he practices and all of that goes into his performance. And you don't see that a lot with businesses in general, which needs to be a part of the conversation. So
yeah, Bryson, I think it's Bryson saying practice.
Yes, practice makes perfection. And my ex-boyfriend, you know, you always take little nuggets from exes, but one of the things he said was, he told me this in college. He was in track. He ran track, and he was like, you know, poor performance prevents. I can't.
Poor practice prevents something performance or something like that, right?
I just forgot what it. Yeah.
I know what you're saying though. Poor
practice. Poor practice.
Google
it. Whatever. I can't remember. He said it. I can't remember. I gotta ask him. Like, what did you?
What did you say? Performance? No, that's not it. I know what you're talking about.
I don't. Prior preparation prevents performance. Prior preparation prevents poor performance. That's what it is. Prior preparation prevents poor performance.
Awesome. We got it.
There it is. There it is, folks.
Yeah, I think that's so true, you know, and I think for small businesses, right, getting the fundamentals right, though, helps them in that practice, right? Because if they're not getting the fundamentals correct, or if they don't even know how to get to the fundamentals, right?
Right.
Or, you know, then how are they going to get to that next level and to that next step? And building on that knowledge and building that base is so important. And I'm sure, you know, a lot of small businesses and entrepreneurs don't know how to do that. And it's just for what you said, they just don't have the info, right? It's not that they don't want to, or not that they don't anything else. It's just they don't know where to go next. Correct. What lessons, and you can tell us more about that, but what lessons, you know, have you learned, you know, going through this, going from corporate, going from, you know, small business yourself, going from now your startup, and you're great at your own marketing and advertising, and you just, like I said, are phenomenal at what you do. So what are some of maybe the obstacles or lessons, you know, have you learned along the way?
There's a lot of lessons, and I think my book will be out 2023 for that one. But the top three, I'll say, and I say this and I want everyone to like really hear me in the digital world. And this is the first one. And it probably really sunk in about 3 days ago when I was talking to my mother. At the first thing I would say, and the hardest lesson that I've learned, is my own personal development. It has been a journey of its own outside of building a company. And I would say the mindset around being an entrepreneur and what that looks like for your life is extremely important. And I can say now that there were a lot of things that came and mistakes that were made because I was a people pleaser. I wanted to make everybody happy. I was afraid of certain things. I didn't want to stand up and be bold. I wanted to be the nice leader that made everybody happy. And that caused more rift because I wasn't being direct, or, you know, I would avoid things, you know. So really understanding your mindset and where your gaps and fears are, what you really are looking for when it comes to being an entrepreneur. And then I would say finally your daily habits. I've always been a very organized person and detailed with things like that, but I saw my success go up when I made daily differences in how I planned and did my life. Like I'm always a morning person, but I block off, like I don't start meetings till 10 o'clock now because I like my time. I walk, I read, I love to read. And then I added audibles, you know, like, so really develop a mindset around who you are, develop where your fears are and where you really want to be, and be honest with that. And then thirdly, create daily habits for success, because you're going to need them whether you're an entrepreneur or moving into an executive role corporately. Those three things are going to either make or break you and cause a lot of conflict in your life and with others if you don't handle those.
Bryson says fire on that. So if anybody's on the line, by the way, and wants to ask Amber a question, feel free to type it in the chat. We will make sure that she gets to it. So you mentioned, I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Were you about to say something else? Oh, I was going to say that too, Bryson. Daily habits for success.
Yeah.
You mentioned walking and reading. What are some of your, you know, daily habits other than, what are some of your habits for success?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So one, I have a quarterly leather journals. I have business journals. And so I set my goals. I hate the word intentions because everybody says that. So I have goals quarterly and annually that I assess. And so I have personal and then I have professional goals. And then once I've identified those quarterly, I look at where I am in the business or where I am in my life, and I create my schedule around that. So for instance, I recognize early Q1, Q2, it was all a lot of strategy and networking and building relationships and onboarding like advisors, right? So my day-to-day schedule, no matter what, 5:45 to about 6:15, I'm up. I rarely sleep past 6:15 unless I'm not feeling well. So I'm up at 6:15. I go on a walk, and then I listen to an audible either around leadership, or I'll listen to my Hillsong Christian music, or I'll talk to my dad. I choose something during that time that gives me like peace. I don't talk about business or anything like that. So then I would say about 8 o'clock, I always have breakfast. I have my coffee, and then I have oatmeal, grits, cream of rice, something like that. I love breakfast. So I'm very particular about that. And then as the day goes on, I always fill in gaps from 10 to around 3 o'clock. I have meetings.
Okay.
And that is a non-negotiable. Now that meeting can be in person, it can be virtual, but I generally will set my meetings from Monday through Thursday from 10 to 3. After
Okay.
3 o'clock, I'm not good for anyone really. I might have a meeting in the evening, you know, with advisors because they're off work, but I try to block off my times and block off in color on my calendar my times, and that's daily. And then depending on the day will determine how I perform. So before it was all strategy. So a lot of the days were me working on my computer. And then now it's me going out and selling and talking about the brand, getting earned media. Like, so, but it's still always between like 10 to 3. Fridays are happy hours where I'm meeting with potential investors, meeting with advisors, things of that nature. And then generally speaking, Friday nights, I always have it for friends, family, or me to just binge TV.
Okay.
Fridays are my day to do absolutely nothing.
Okay.
So if that kind of helps, like I'm very, it helps when I'm off of it, I feel it. I feel off, if that makes sense.
No, it makes sense.
I've been doing that for about 2 years now, and I see the difference in how I move and how I do things. So
it really makes sense. Bryson says, so proud of you and your work, Amber.
Oh, thanks, Bryson.
Yes, I'm proud of you too, Amber. But
well, thank you.
I'm firing and praying or thankful, just like Bryson. Yeah. And you know what's interesting? You mentioned that block of time. Someone told me that too, not too long ago, and I started doing that for work as well, because I was just getting all these things thrown at me, and so I'm in the field, and I blocked off this block of time, and I said, you know, this is my time to be really in the field with no meetings. And someone told me to do that, and I was like, it's kind of made my life, to your point, it's made it a little bit more peaceful, because I can't just put random stuff, because they can see my calendar blocked off. And I never did that before. And what's funny is I never really did that a lot, because before COVID, I didn't really even use my laptop a lot, because I'm in the field. So I always used an iPad or something. And I never really even knew, like, oh, I could just do that, block that time off and it was just interesting, you know, me in the tech world, or getting ourselves together. But blocking that time is so important, you know, to get things done, or even if it's just like you said, for yourself. You know, going to the gym, walking, doing your spiritual connection, whatever that is. Hi, Jen. I think it's so important to block that time. So I think that's a really great one. You mentioned too about your fears. So I'm curious about, you know, some of those, and how some of those, you know, how you've gotten through those obstacles, or what might have been, you know, like you said, your mindset, developing that mindset. How did you kind of, or how are you, you know, different ways that you might be getting through some of those obstacles that came and are coming still, you know, your way?
One of the ways, that's a great question. So one of the ways that I've been overcoming some of my fears is I read a lot, and I read other entrepreneurial books and articles, and it makes me not feel as alone in my mindset. I'm not around a lot of entrepreneurs right now that are high tech, like want big brands, you know, that are scaling. I have a community now on Twitter that I'm involved in, but like day to day, I'm not really involved with people like that. And so some of my fears were just siloed, because I didn't know that other people were having them. And so as I started to read some of these books by other entrepreneurs, I'm like, oh my God, I'm not alone.
Right.
Some of these things are normal, and they've overcome them. So if they can, I can, right? And I've never been one to like really like look to all these different people to say, well, if they're doing it, I can. But in this space, it's helped me, because entrepreneurship can be very lonely. It can be very taxing on your mental health, especially being a woman of color. And so when I read articles or books on other people that have gone through it, it actually helps me get through the days that are darker than others. So that's one tool that I've used. my family has been a huge help. My mom's a counselor. Like she kind of works with me on some things. I have great advisors now. If I could tell any entrepreneur that's trying to build a business, get advisors. Get advisors. I had 2 from the beginning. Now I have about 11, and I have a advisory board. And since I brought everyone on, Taryn, I think you were the last one. What was that, like June, somewhere in there?
Yeah.
It has changed the trajectory of the brand, you know, because they're free resources, really, you know, and it's a help, you know. So,
and have, you know, different minds, but all moving towards the same thing, right? Like we all want success, you know, that's why we're here, right? And so, but you also have different minds to contribute, you know, to whatever it is that their expertise is and to how they can make it. So the almost to last question is building community. Is building community. Tell me a little bit about, and I know for myself, I have my own answer. You know, I have my own answer to my own question. But how do you feel like you know, you and Smark are building community?
That's a great question. I think fundamentally that's what Smark is, right? We are an ecosystem. You know, you can come and teach as well as be taught within the marketplace. There's a ton of different tools and resources that are available for anyone that's even from a gig economist, side hustle, all the way up to a mid-sized company, even CEOs of you know, larger organizations. So we have portals and partnerships that are in the works or have just closed that will allow for a lot of the community building that needs to happen within the world, really, when it comes to small businesses. So at our core, and what we believe in, is empowering small business owners to do more and go out into the world and feel empowered. So that is what we are. We are a community. We're an online community for businesses. So,
I was going to say the empowering part. You know, we had a conversation with someone not too long ago, and I can't remember her name, but it was after the smarkspeaks series. And one of the things she said was, you know, I want to go back and watch that. I want to go back and listen to that, you know, because she wanted to.
She wanted to learn.
Giving people that power, right? It's empowering them to learn, you know, what they need to learn. And that's exactly what she said. She said, I want to go back and listen, or I want to go back and watch that. And now it's empowering other entrepreneurs and other small businesses. And that was the word I was going to use too, because that's what I think of, you know, either bringing businesses together or giving them the power, giving them the knowledge, and building that community by their going back then and being in community too.
Absolutely.
You know, giving, and so it's a snowball or reciprocal or whatever word that is, effect on what you're building and then they're building. You know?
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's what we want to do. That's the core and the heart. I know for myself, if we get to $1 billion valuation, but like it's calamity and people are not learning, I would be very disappointed, because that would not be the core of who we are. You know, we have a smaller subset of consumers right now as we're growing, and people are walking away like, man, I feel smarter, or my head hurts, you know, when they leave a workshop, or they're, you know, saying things like, you know, I thought I knew, and then it just brought so much clarity to what I'm doing. And that's what we want. We want people to be clear, and we want people to be confident. And that's, that is community for me.
Yeah. And it's fun, right? To see them grow.
Absolutely.
And they're excited about growing now because they understand.
Yeah.
And it's fun to hear them say, oh man, I got to go back and listen to that, because what I learned here is I can take.
Yep. Exactly.
You know, and I can put back into my business, into my practice, into my community, wherever I am.
Exactly.
So I'm going to go a little bit over, guys, I think. So bear with us. We got 1 minute. The next question, this is really the next to final question, is, so what does the future hold?
What does the future hold? Me, TERRAN, and our other advisors on a safari in South Africa, like with some champagne, some South African kava or something, champagne, cheersing to a great 2023. No, we are, like I said, we're in our seed round of funding, so we want to end this round well, and then we want to accelerate, give back to some past things, and heal from that, and then move forward. And moving forward means building out the team, getting people excited about the brand. We have a really cool road show we want to roll out. Hopefully COVID will allow for us to do that. You'll see more videos and speaker series, and we have a lot of great hosts, and the podcast is moving along. So we want to build out the new website and the mobile app. So all of that will happen hopefully in the next 18 months of the brand. And then just be prepared to see us in all the cities coming your way very soon. So
coming your way.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll be able to venture out into France and Dubai very soon. So we're really excited about that.
International with it.
Yeah, we are international already. So a lot of our Carolina consultants are all over the world right now. So that's exciting.
With it. You're international with it. So,
international, yes.
So Carolina is asking, can you please share your social? I got one more question for you, but please share where everybody can find you.
You can find us on Instagram at ThinkSMARK, SMARK, Dream Big, ThinkSMARK. And Twitter, you can find us at think_SMARK. And then our website is www.thinksmark.com. So that's also on LinkedIn as well as Facebook.
So there you go. Hi, Rachel. So the final question you might remember from the last time, but if you don't,
I don't.
Ding, 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 ding.
Ding, 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 ding.
You know I got to bring the cats into it, Amber.
Oh, right.
They say curiosity kills the cat.
Curiosity.
But what are you curious about?
But I think the bigger question is, what did the cat want to know?
I don't know.
Exactly.
What do you think?
It never was about the cat, TERRAN. It never was about the cat. It's about staying curious. I am curious to see what 2022 holds, because the last 2 years have been insane. So I am curious about what 2022 is in store. We are in the roaring 20s, y'all. And we get to enjoy these next couple of years. There's a lot of great movements going with Bitcoin, blockchain, all this tech stuff. So we're in another wave of it. So let's see what happens. So I'm curious about technology in the next couple of years. So this will be fun.
Hold on for the ride, right?
Yeah.
And one more time, where can people find you? And we'll cut off.
They can find me at whoisaCPayden, Payden, or www.whoisapayden.com. You can find the brand ThinkSMARK at ThinkSMARK on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn, and then at think_SMARK on Twitter.
Amber, be good to yourself.
Yes. Thank you so much. You had a great time. Thanks, TERRAN.
I love you so much, and
love
I
you
will
too.
Very soon. Be good to yourself and each other. We'll catch us next Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. This is the TERRAN Lamp Show. Out.
We out.
Bye-bye, everybody.